thefightjournal.com. Breaking news that just came across our table. Looks like the major lawsuit that Top Rank filed against Al Haymon et al. It looks like some type of settlement is going to be reached. Rumor has it. And it looks like we're going to find a middle ground somewhere, which is good for boxing. That means you'll have a Terrence Crawford versus an Adrian Broner if this goes the way that it should, or the way that hypothetically that is rumored to go. I mean, you can cross all the lines now where Al Haymon and his large stable will do business with an Oscar De La Hoya or the Bob father, Bob Arum. So whether you like what Arum is doing, whether you like PBC, I'm not really a fan. Whether you hate either one, if they're doing business, the bottom line for most fans is they just want to see the best fights. What does that mean? Well, it's promising news. If you want to see something like a Golovkin versus Daniel Jacobs, I mean, and that might not be the best example because that's K2, who seems to get along with everyone, but it only helps the likelihood of something like that happening. What it could also mean is an agreement to have a Mayweather versus Pacquiao part 2 fight. When you talk about some type of settlement, and it was a $100 million antitrust lawsuit. Now Oscar I can't remember if Oscar withdrew his, but it looks like that's rumored now to be going down. And of course nobody's commenting on anything, but and I think it was Boxing Scene that reported first, I believe. But now you're looking at, and that very well could be included. If you see next May a Pacquiao versus Mayweather part 2, just out of the blue, and it just gets done, finalized, negotiated, then it's safe to say that it may have been included in this settlement. But that's something that happened. That's in a class of its own. In other words, that's something that happened while the lawsuit was in play. So you can't look at that. But if you see something like or a Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Danny Jacobs, Jesse Vargas versus, or a Crawford versus a Broner, Jesse Vargas versus whoever, then you know what you're dealing with. So while I want to speculate with the Mayweather Pacquiao, that's in a class of its own. That's something that would have happened whether these guys took their fight into 2020. It doesn't matter. There's so much money still for a rematch that's something that would have occurred anyway. So there were some changes, and there was some news that broke about Top Rank kind of not looking for. First, there was there was supposed to be a request to kind of release some evidence, some documentation, so that the one side could look at it and kind of dissect it. But somehow, some way, we're looking like we're gonna. Rumor has it, I'll put it that way, but it looks like there will be some type of settlement. Also, that Waddell and Reed money, that $500 million, with a B, billion, it was 580 something million. I said it then, I'll say it again. I think that was a tax dump. Waddell and Reed wanted to be under a certain amount of money at the end of a fiscal year. They needed someone to spend that money in a fast manner. That's where Al Heyman came in. That money got spent, and everybody's like, he's not going to be on the hook for all this money. I mean, he's just spending it, and he didn't just use it for time buys. He was paying salaries. He was paying the boxers with it. And how can you keep spending it and now it's going down to such and such amount? Well, I'm not sure PBC will be around in a year. Maybe it will. But that money, I think that had to do with just a tax dump. And then when you get sponsors at a low rate and you get a lot of viewership, you get a large amount of viewers, and then you come back and when other sponsors are like, okay, these are doing good numbers, all right, well now you come at me and you're not going to get the discount rate that the original sponsors got. I think that was part of the plan. Whether you get people to bite or not, I'll go back to that money from Waddell and Reed. I just think it was some type of tax dump. It was some type of, just spend it as freely as you can by X amount of date. Get us under such and such. And then we're off the hook as a company. However, it's investors' money that you're playing with. So that's the piece where I believe investors were gathering to file a lawsuit. Now, they might not go away as easy, or they might not be as willing to settle. So there's still some pieces that are interesting to fall into place. Is this just going to be back to Showtime, which is kind of pro Mayweather, pro Premier Boxing Champion fight roster, so to speak, or is there something related to PBC? I mean, you look at Amir Khan. He's kind of like a Heyman guy. He fought Saul Canelo Alvarez a couple of weeks ago. Gennady Golovkin fought Dominic Wade, but he's K2 once again. We're talking about Top Rank. We're talking about Al Heyman. I know in the story he was talking about Vasily Lomachenko and Gary Russell. That was shortly before the lawsuit, I believe, or maybe right after, but few and far between. Now you can see maybe a Timothy Bradley versus a Sean Porter or something like that. So I'm a skeptic. So we'll see how it plays out. But the breaking news is that we appear to be headed for a settlement. I mean, best case scenario, we're going to get the fights we want, and it's just going to be good for boxing overall. However, I've been in the game long enough to know that what you want is not always what you get. So, fans, stay tuned. Let me know what you think. As always, We can't thrive without you. So please subscribe to the Fight Journal's YouTube videos, YouTube page, the Fight Journal. Definitely, please do that for us. Leave your comments. Also, please follow us at the Fight Journal on Twitter. Give us a follow. We'll follow you back, and we'll communicate with you, and we'll respond to your tweets, to your comments, and we'll retweet some of your stuff to get you some followers. So, stay with us. Keep following us. We're going to bring you more videos. We're going to bring you more coverage from the fights that we attend, and the media days and so on and so forth. And as we grow, we'll get better. But until then, once again, give us a follow at the Fight Journal on Twitter. And please subscribe to our YouTube page. And definitely leave some commentary. And we'll go back and forth with you. If you got suggestions, you want us to do a video on something or discuss something, let us know. We've done some Blog Talk Radio. We'll be doing some conference calls with the fans. It probably won't be Blog Talk. I'm not sure, but check with us for the latest. Oh, and also when you go to our website, thefightjournal.com, and if you go on your phone, if you see a blue and white screen on your phone, go to the bottom and select full. You want the full page or the full website version, and on the top left hand side, you'll see something that says follow blog via email. Enter your email address and select follow. And anytime we post a video, we post an article or anything like that, it'll just automatically come to your email. If we put it on the website, most of the YouTube videos we'll put on the website, so you'll get those too. But until then, as news continues to break on this, it's a major story, believe me. As news continues to break, we'll update it, and just follow us and you'll be in the know.